This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto, and this is Digital Sportscentre presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And we start with some huge breaking news, as Brandon Ingram has signed a 3-year, $120 million extension with the Raps. The deal includes a player option for the 2027-28 season. When the Raps traded for Ingram at the deadline, many, including Josh Lewenberg on this very show, speculated that a deal could be coming soon to extend in Toronto. And now it's here as the Raps and Ingram have committed to each other for the next few seasons. When it comes to this season though, just when you thought the tank was in jeopardy, they pull you back in.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Now, normally when we say that line, we like to play the original Godfather 3 clip, but we mix it up for you today, going Silvio from The Sopranos doing the Al Pacino. The Raps have lost 4 straight and are back in the driver's seat to finish bottom 5, as 3 games now separate them from the Nets ahead of them. But if they're going to creep into that bottom 3, they're really going to have to get creative with guys sitting. And they will not be without some big names tonight, as RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl are both out, RJ still in concussion protocol, and Poeltl out with that hip pointer. New acquisition Brandon Ingram is still yet to make his Raptors debut, as he remains out with that ankle injury. On the Philly side of things, they could be without Joel Embiid, as he's questionable with that lingering knee injury. You can watch the Raptors and Sixers tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. We're now just one day away from the newest best on best hockey tournament, the Nations Faceoff. With NHL players being held out of the past Olympics, fans haven't seen this type of hockey since the World Cup of Hockey in 2016. The Canadians took care of business in that tournament, and 8 years later they're favorites once again, slightly ahead of the Americans to win it all. And looking at the Canada roster, it's pretty easy to see where the optimism comes from, especially on offense. Canada's rolling out one of the most talented groups we've ever seen, headlined by Connor McDavid, Nathan MacKinnon, and Sidney Crosby. Those 3 alone have combined for 6 Hart trophies, 7 Art Rosses, 3 Rocket Richards, and 4 Stanley Cups. I need you to understand the magnitude, the weight of all of those trophies combined, and giving Canada possibly the most firepower of the entire tournament. But they've got elite scoring outside their top 3 as well, as half of their remaining forwards have scored more than a point per game this season. So expect the Canadians to have one of, if not the best offense at the 4 nations. Team Canada should also be solid defensively. The roster features 2 former Norris winners in Cale Makar and Drew Doughty, as well as a combined total of 6 Stanley Cups. And defense will be crucial as they have to protect the weakest part of the roster, the goalies. Aiden Hill, Jordan Binnington, and Sam Montembeault are all good goalies. But when you compare them to the guys in the US, Sweden, and Finland rosters, they're just a step below. Hill has been arguably the best out of Canada's bunch so far this season, but ranks 30th in save percentage and 21st in goals against. For comparison, every other team in the tournament has a goalie ahead in both categories, with the US and Sweden having the top 2. But one thing Canada does have going for them in the net is championship experience, as Hill and Binnington are the only 2 goalies with Stanley Cups in this tournament. They've both led their teams to championships before, and we're hoping they can do it again. I love that this is happening right now because the NHL feels like we're in the dog days of the season, so the fact that this is breaking it up is perfect. Time now for our newest segment, Saucy Sounds, presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And let's go to LA. We're ahead of Luka's Lakers debut. LeBron had some sauce for his new teammate.
Luka, be your yourself. Don't fit in. Fit the out. Be yourself. Here we go. Dominate. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
Aww, wait. I love that advice. That goes for all of you out there. Just be yourself. Now, on its own, that's some saucy sound. But let's add some context, because we all remember this quote LeBron James had almost 9 years ago to the day about then teammate Kevin Love. And the motivating words paid off, as Luka and LeBron connected on this unreal pass and fast break bucket, and the new look Lakers smoked the Jazz. I'm so excited about basketball playoffs now, seeing Luka and LeBron together, although I would assume that Mavericks fans are having to look away. I'm sorry. TSN continues to celebrate Black History Month. All throughout February, we will honor and recognize athletes who continue to break barriers and fight for equality both inside and outside of sports. Here's Jermaine Franklin on the legacy of Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson is one of the most important figures in North American sports history. Robinson was an elite athlete who excelled in several sports, but Major League Baseball is where he would break the color barrier.
I felt that if the right man, not to exploit a sociological problem, but if the right man and ability on the field and with control of himself off the field If I could find that kind of a man, the American public would accept him.
After just 1 year in the Negro League, Robinson was signed by the Brooklyn Dodgers and assigned to their top farm team, the Montreal Royals, in 1946. He dominated the International League with a batting average of .349 and 40 stolen bases. Robinson earned a promotion to the Dodgers, and on April 15, 1947, Robinson made his debut with Brooklyn, becoming the first black athlete to play in the major leagues. Jackie Robinson went on to win Rookie of the Year, and 2 years later he won the National League MVP. He played for 10 seasons, and during that time the Dodgers won 6 pennants, as well as the 1955 World Series title. But breaking the color barrier came with immense challenges. There were teammates and crowds who opposed Robinson's presence, but he faced threats to himself and his family with honor and grace.
It wasn't going to upset me. There was really too much to be done at that particular time in terms of breaking the baseball barrier to allow name-calling to bother him.
In 1997, Major League Baseball retired his uniform number 42. And in 2004, they adopted the annual tradition of Jackie Robinson Day, where every player on every team wears number 42 on April 15th of each year. TSN celebrates Black History Month.
Incredible work by Jermaine there. Jackie Robinson was quite literally carrying the pressure and weight of the world on his shoulders, and he still stepped up to the literal plate and performed like an absolute all-star. We are so lucky to get to look back at this with all the hindsight in the world and say thank you. That's it for us today. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good one.